Imagine walking alone on a deserted road, the only sound being the soft crunch of gravel beneath your feet, when suddenly, you stumble upon a clue that could change everything. A clue that could unravel the mystery of a decades-old cold case, bringing justice to the victims and their families. But, as you reach down to pick it up, you realize you're not alone, and the darkness that has shrouded this case for so long begins to close in around you. You find yourself standing at the edge of a small, rural town, surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. The air is crisp and clean, but there's an underlying sense of unease that settles in the pit of your stomach. It's a feeling that's all too familiar for the residents of this town, who have lived with the knowledge of a decades-old cold case for far too long. A case that began with the disappearance of a young woman, whose body was later found in a secluded area, with no leads, no suspects, and no justice. As you walk through the town, you notice the remnants of a once thriving community, now tainted by the shadow of tragedy. The local diner, where rumors and theories have been exchanged for years, the old police station, where investigators have pored over the evidence, and the town square, where the community has come together to support the victim's family. But, as you delve deeper into the case, you begin to realize that nothing is as it seems, and the truth is hidden behind a web of secrets and lies. The sound of rustling leaves and chirping birds fills the air, but it's the silence that's deafening, the silence of a community that's been waiting for justice for far too long. The smell of freshly brewed coffee wafts from the diner, a stark contrast to the darkness that lurks beneath the surface. You can't help but wonder what really happened to the young woman, and why has the case gone cold? As you continue to investigate, you come across a small, secluded area, surrounded by tall trees and overgrown bushes. The air is thick with the scent of decay, and the sound of buzzing flies fills your ears. It's here that the body of the young woman was found, with no signs of struggle or forced entry. The only clue was a small, silver necklace, found near the body, with an inscription that read, "Forever in my heart." The necklace seemed to be the only personal item left behind, and it's this small detail that has haunted the investigators for years. As you examine the area, you notice that the trees seem to be closing in around you, casting long, ominous shadows on the ground. The sky above is a deep, foreboding gray, with clouds that seem to be swirling in every direction. You can't help but feel that you're being watched, and the silence is oppressive, punctuated only by the sound of your own heartbeat. The ground beneath your feet is damp and spongy, and you can't shake the feeling that you're walking on the grave of the young woman. What secrets does this place hold, and what led to the tragic events that unfolded here? As the investigation unfolds, you're introduced to a cast of characters, each with their own secrets and motives. The lead detective, a gruff, no-nonsense man, with a sharp mind and a keen eye for detail. The victim's family, who are desperate for justice, but seem to be hiding something. The local residents, who are tight-lipped and secretive, but seem to know more than they're letting on. As you delve deeper into the case, you begin to realize that nothing is as it seems, and everyone is a suspect. The detective's office is a cluttered, dimly lit room, filled with stacks of files and dusty old books. The smell of stale coffee and worn leather fills the air, and the sound of scribbling pens and rustling papers is the only sound that breaks the silence. You notice a few telling details, a photograph of the victim on the detective's desk, a few cryptic notes scrawled in the margin of a file, and a small, almost imperceptible tremble in the detective's hand as he pores over the evidence. What is he hiding, and what will it take to crack the case? As you continue to investigate, you come across a shocking revelation, a twist that turns the entire case on its head. A new suspect emerges, one who was previously unknown to the investigation. A person who was close to the victim, but seemed to have an airtight alibi. But, as you dig deeper, you realize that nothing is as it seems, and the truth is far more complex than you ever could have imagined. The suspect's house is a small, unassuming bungalow, with a neat, well-manicured lawn, and a few colorful flowers in the garden. But, as you look closer, you notice a few telling details: a small, almost imperceptible scratch on the doorframe, a few scattered threads on the carpet, and a faint, lingering scent of perfume in the air. What does it all mean, and how will it change the course of the investigation? As the truth begins to unravel, you're left to ponder the aftermath of the events that have unfolded. The victim's family, who have been searching for justice for so long, must now come to terms with the reality of what happened. The suspect, who has been hiding in plain sight, must now face the consequences of their actions. And the investigators, who have dedicated themselves to solving the case, must now grapple with the emotional toll of the journey. The town, which has been forever changed by the tragedy, must now begin to heal. The sound of whispers and murmurs fills the air, as the news of the suspect's identity spreads like wildfire. The smell of freshly cut grass and blooming flowers fills the air, a stark contrast to the darkness that has shrouded the town for so long. You notice a few telling details: a few scattered tears on the victim's family's faces, a few almost imperceptible nods of satisfaction from the investigators, and a few ominous, twisted tree branches looming in the background. What will happen next, and how will the town ever be the same? As you reflect on the case, you're left to ponder the lessons that have been learned, and the questions that still remain. The case has been solved, but the impact of the tragedy will be felt for years to come. The victim's family, who have been searching for justice, can finally begin to heal, but the memory of what happened will never be forgotten. The investigators, who have dedicated themselves to solving the case, can finally rest easy, knowing that justice has been served. But, as you look back on the events that have unfolded, you can't help but wonder, what other secrets are still hidden, waiting to be uncovered? What other cases are still unsolved, and what will it take to bring justice to the victims and their families? The sound of rustling leaves and chirping birds fills the air, a stark contrast to the darkness that has shrouded the case for so long. You notice a few telling details: a few scattered papers and files, a few almost imperceptible notes scrawled in the margin, and a small, silver photograph of the victim on the desk. What does the future hold, and how will the truth be revealed in the face of such darkness? As you finish this journey, you're left to ponder the haunting question: what secrets lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered? Will justice ever be served, or will these cases forever remain shrouded in mystery? Like, comment, and subscribe for more true crime content, and join the discussion in the comments below. Share your theory, and let's work together to uncover the truth. The darkness is real, but together, we can shine a light on the secrets that lie within. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and join us next time, as we delve into another haunting true crime case.